Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. I realized I have my glasses on here.
I never get to be in the videos.
So it is.
Because I make faces at the camera.
He does. It is the 16th, I think. Monday. The
May 16th.
And what?
Yep, Monday, May 16th.
Monday. So, what do we do today? We talked to you
No
guys
idea.
last day. We talked to you
Last
last
day.
day. Yesterday. It was a long day yesterday. It was a long day today. You want to be on the video too?
Oh,
Hold
I'm
on.
in the video. I'm a baby.
Hello.
Hey, baby.
Okay, he's like, where am I?
Oh.
You want to talk to yourself?
Okay, so what do we do
Okay.
today?
So today we got done from the weekend. So yesterday was a long day between I wasn't feeling good and Josiah had a hard day with his medication and such. Naomi, can you come take this boy or else he's going to grab the camera? Okay, so it is now 8 o'clock. We have put the little people to sleep. She was trying to hand me the camera for Josiah so you can watch him. I'm going to turn the thing down though because I can hear their Bible that's playing.
Okay, so what do we do today?
So today, Monday, we got ready. We got caught up from the weekend. That's what we're going to
It's
say.
going to be a rough video. This is how it starts.
So
Baby's screaming. We don't know what day it is.
we got caught up from the weekend. So this morning, Naomi got up and she washed a whole lot of dishes. She made a whole lot of pancakes too, but she washed a whole lot of dishes. So this morning for breakfast, we had pancakes. People had a choice of butter and syrup, or butter and brown sugar, or chocolate chips in their pancakes.
I had none of the above.
Josiah had almond flour pancakes. I found a really good recipe that he likes. And we mix almond butter and coconut oil as a topping on them with a little bit of stevia in it. And he really likes those. He actually asked for those this morning because he really likes those and they don't count against him for carbs. He's not totally keto, but we do keep track of carbs. And so that's one of the things he likes that doesn't affect the rest of his carbs for the rest of the day. It's really hard if he gets a lot of carbs for breakfast to then regulate it throughout the rest of the day because later in the day he wants something else. So we had that for breakfast. We did a bunch of dishes. We got a bunch of laundry done. And
There was a lot of
cleaned-
cleaning projects. We're running around
cleaning up the
organizing
house
cleaning.
because yesterday when mommy wasn't functional, things came out and put away. I mean, everything doesn't get always put away on Sunday anyway, but it was extra bad.
So we don't do
So-
a lot of chores on Sundays, so
Right.
yeah. Dishes are always more, laundry's always more, everything's more.
It wasn't terrible. It just was more
Yeah,
than normal.
it worked out well.
So then we did our Bible. And so we read about Hagar running into the wilderness.
Right,
And
Genesis 21. With Ishmael being older and Isaac being weaned, and why they have parties at such occasions as children being weaned. We had all kinds of discussions.
yeah, so we were talking about
Genesis 21.
fasting and feasting. Still more things we're going to talk about, but how we live in a culture where Naomi keeps trying to come back in the room.
He's just not happy.
No.
He's like, I don't want to be in the room. Fine.
He really needs to go to bed, but he doesn't want to yet.
Yeah.
So we feast all the time in this country, and so we never are deprived, I guess. And I'm not saying deprivation in like, oh, don't feed the children. I'm not
No.
saying that, but we
We always have an abundance. Like, we always have 5 options.
right, like there are countries where people have a bowl of rice every morning for breakfast because that's all they can afford, and that's all that regularly grows, or whatever the reason.
Yeah, but we're like, okay, so do we want eggs or pancakes or waffles, or do we want muffins, or...
Right.
We
And
have
like we
dozens
enjoyed
of options we could
the pancakes
do.
this morning.
I don't think he's going to be happy, so let's just skip it.
We enjoyed the pancakes this morning, but we didn't enjoy them to the extent we would if we didn't eat pancakes very often. So,
Ruben?
I don't know. Hold on. We're going to check on Josiah. Josiah, how you doing? Do you need anything? We'll come in just a minute. Okay. He wants someone to come rub his back.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, so we were talking about how we don't enjoy things to the extent we could if we didn't get them all the time. But
Right.
because we say, oh, I want this, we just go do it. And I think, like, that's our culture. And even to the point that we don't, like, we buy a lot of pre-made things. So if I want, like yesterday, the kids and I made a chocolate cake. I think I mentioned that on the video. So we like actually had to like think about it. Like,
It
I
wasn't
want
the
some
boxiness.
chocolate cake. Do I want to put the work and the cleanup time into this? Do we want to wait? Where we're much more ready to say, oh, look, a candy bar. Let's eat, put this in our mouth. Or, oh, look,
She
a bag
keeps
of chips.
looking at me like this. She's talking about me.
That's not what I was doing. Anyway, I like having discussions with my husband.
I'm guilty. I'm not questioning that at all.
So we were talking about how just maybe we should take more time fasting. Oh, he's rolling over. We should take more time fasting
Yeah.
so that we would enjoy the feasting. Not fasting in not eating, but fasting in the idea of times of less options. Like right now, because of Josiah's diet, most mornings we eat eggs and vegetables. You want to bring him back? We're going to try this baby thing again.
All right. Hey, baby. You're loud.
Hey, baby. We're going to try you.
Hey, loud baby.
I'll call you back, Naomi, if I need you. Okay, so we eat eggs and vegetables most mornings for breakfast because that's what's on Josiah's diet. So the kids did enjoy the pancakes this morning because it's not a regular thing anymore in our house, but it's not totally random, totally foreign to them.
What? When you matter, are you all right?
But
You're making baby.
we were just saying we enjoyed that idea of, and they feasted because he was weaned, and they feast because there's a wedding, and they feast because the prodigal son came home, and they feast because angels showed up in a couple chapters ago in the Abraham story.
But they didn't feast every single day. Like it wasn't like every Tuesday is a giant thing.
But they did find reasons to celebrate things about God. I mean, what are you doing? You're being very silly. So then we were also talking about Hagar and how God provided for her in the wilderness and opened her eyes so that she could see the well that was there. And we were discussing how God opens our eyes to things around us, just even in the physical world. And we were talking to Virginia, I think, brought up the point, like scientists, they only know how science works, how the world works, mathematicians, how math works, because God has opened their eyes, because those are all God's concepts. Math is God's math, and science is God's science. Even if you're using it for the wrong things, it's because God created the world to be the way it is. So like we were saying, the only way they could send men to the moon was because math works and they could calculate where they were going to take off and where they were going to land and how long it was going to take and all of that stuff. And not everybody who worked on the project was Christian. Some of the people were. But even the ones who didn't work, even the ones who weren't Christian still had to use God's math to do it. And the world has taken over things thinking that they get to take our stuff, like a rainbow. Like, that's God's rainbow. You can't take God's rainbow. You can't, like, people use fire to do bad things. Like, they were burning children on the altar of Molech. But fire was given to us by God as a good thing so that we could cook food and we could do the burnt offerings and stuff that God told us to do. So it's God's fire. So even if people are using it
tired.
for wrong, what are you doing? And then, so we did that. Then after that was done, we did a little cooking because we had lunch guests. We have been attending a new church in the area, and the pastor and his wife came over. We talked to them about the church, kind of like the vision of the church, things that go on there, and just if we would be a good fit for the church. We wanted them to know how crazy our family is.
We're
like,
a bunch of weirdos.
Like, we keep our kids in worship with us because we think it's important to worship as a family, and the church is very much for that. They want kids to be able to be there. They want moms to feel comfortable to be able to come and go, because they don't want a mom feeling like she went out at the start of the sermon and she's not allowed to come back. They want her to come back. What are you doing? They really appreciate the kids being in the service. So it's good. But also us being out like at the abortion mill and everything, we wanted them to know, hey, Virginia, I'm going to give you a turn. He just doesn't know what he wants. Being out at the abortion mill or out on the street preaching the gospel, we just wanted them to know we did that. Knowing if we fit in the criteria.
Yeah, I mean, we
criteria of the
talked
church.
about
That was a bad way to say it.
some of the challenges we have Sorry, don't point that thing at me.
Well, if you're gonna talk, you
Just
should
some
be
of
on
the
video.
some of the challenges that we have as a family, and like, okay, so looks a little weird between Josiah's seizures and my situation, that kind of thing. And there's just a lot of us. We recognize when we show up, we kind of fill out a room.
But their church has none of the families are as big as ours that I can
No, but there's
think
a bunch
of.
of kids.
But there's a bunch
Bunch
of
of
kids.
families
There's a
with
lot
kids,
of
yeah.
families
Yeah.
with kids that sit in the service and everything. So
Yeah.
even though we have more children than most people, we didn't feel like totally out of place.
No, because the families generally sit together during
Mm-hmm.
church. The little ones might play at mom and dad's feet, or they might sit and sing along. One of them amens a couple of times most services, right?
Yeah.
And that's appreciated by the elders and those who are speaking. So
And the pastor told me
it's like
today
you
that
got to
he
teach
doesn't.
kids somehow, and that's a really good way to do it. Is bring them with you. Sorry.
Yeah, the pastor said today that he doesn't usually notice when people go out, so that was nice to hear. Because sometimes between baby and Josiah and other little ones who need to use the potty, I can sometimes be back and forth a couple times. So
6,
that was
7
nice that he didn't feel like I was a nuisance. Didn't need to make sure distractions were away.
And we swapped testimonies. We found out like where they were raised,
How they met,
how they met, how they became Christians.
how he became a pastor.
Yeah, those kind of
So,
things.
and it's fun because a
We've
lot
seen
of the
God at
people.
work in people's lives.
A lot of people who go to this church are people that I grew up going to youth group with their kids. Like a lot of the older people in this church, their kids are in churches in the area, but I went to youth group with their kids, so it's just been
Serving as
neat.
missionaries halfway across the world.
Yeah, but it's been neat to just be part, like to see people that we haven't seen for a while, and
Yeah.
reconnect. So anyway, so they came over and they stayed for like 3 hours, and it was really a good time. The kids had a lot of fun. Everything went well there. I left with Josiah to go have a chiropractor's appointment for him. He had not been to a chiropractor since the one we saw in Kentucky on our way home. And if you guys remember watching our videos, he had a bad fall a couple of weeks ago, or if you watch us on Facebook or whatever, he had a bad fall from a seizure. And so the chiropractor did find some stuff in his upper back that was messed up, and that was nice to get him checked out.
Yeah.
And then we came home and played outside for a while. I caught up with some people online. We were having some discussions, and then
And then we did a bunch of preparation for like,
Yes.
so we're going on a camping trip.
going on
Camping
a trip.
trip.
in
We have a
favorite
we
rocket
have a
ship.
travel trailer. Like some people think camping trip and they think tent.
We don't tent.
We have a 32-foot travel trailer and a 26-foot shuttle bus. That
We go
drive.
glamping.
No, we really don't. We're not going to have running water. We might have electricity, and we have a sewer tank. But like
It's much
But
more
it's
glamping than
not,
a tent, though.
It's not tenting. We wouldn't. When we tried camping in a tent, and we just didn't care for it at all. We tried it a couple of times, and it's really not our thing.
So we're going to see some friends that I have been friends with the mom online from a forum for multiple years.
Yeah.
And we finally got to meet their family last summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have kept in touch with them a lot over the course of this year, and we're going to go stay at their house for 2
Couple of nights. Yeah.
which will be really nice. And then we will park our camper at Mark's mom's house because in the summer, unless we need to bring it back for people to come visit, we will be keeping it up there because Mark's mom lives in a really small house. For us to be able to go up, we can't stay with her.
My mother's house is 12 feet by 16 feet.
And she
is
wants it-
less than 200 square feet.
She wants it. That's nothing against.
Oh yeah, I
like-
built it custom for her. Like that's exactly what she wanted. But she has a small piece of land and a very small budget, and that's all there was to it. So we built her something and hauled it up there.
So
And since it's been there for like 13, this is almost 14 years now.
what?
I was just thinking
But-
the amount. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So anyhow, it's a place to park the camper, to be close to mom, to be close to dad. My dad's about 10 minutes away from my mom. But what, 3 miles from my mother's house? People always hear about Acadia National Park in Bar Harbor. Well, mom lives in Sorrento across the bay. So if you, and it's a little quiet country fishing village, but if you go 2 or 3 miles from mom's house, you can look across the water and you can see Cadillac Mountain and all the mountains of Acadia.
And there's a
and it's
really beautiful
gorgeous.
beach there, so we will
Yes.
do some video while we're gone.
And nobody's ever there. Nobody.
Yeah. What? Okay, can you lay down? Oh, sit down.
Have a seat.
Josiah just came to visit, and he's having a little
A
seizure.
little minor seat.
Enough he was still walking and talking. He just knew something was going on. So, anyway.
Sorry, Virginia was saying something.
Oh, sorry, Virginia. What were you going to say?
I was just gonna say, with the amount of furniture and stuff that Mammy has in her house, I don't think we could all even sleep on her floor.
No. We slept on her floor multiple years ago.
Oh, like 9 years ago, 10 years ago. I don't know.
We had like 3 kids.
3 kids.
And
We have more than that now.
yeah, it was very crowded then, and the kids were a lot smaller. So it would be much more crowded now. So anyway, I mean, we could make it work. We have slept in like Miss Lola's living room, which was tiny because
Like
she lived
50 square feet.
She lived
8
in like
people,
little
10, whatever.
in-laws quarters. And so we slept in her living room. So we finagled people between the chair and pushed this chair against the wall and make space between them and all of that.
Yeah, it was definitely very.
Oh, they have to go check the food. So anyway,
The
so
sign language and.
we've
hands
been getting,
flailing.
you can show like over there.
Gestures going on over there. Hey, Josiah.
Stab the cauliflower.
How's Josiah?
He's having a hard time.
He's tired.
Okay, so we were playing outside. We came in to have supper, which was kind of deconstructed shepherd's pie because we had some potatoes left over for lunch. Oh, you probably want to know what we had for lunch. We had the friends over. So we had chicken tenders that we baked in the oven with just some spices on top. We had mashed potatoes. We had broccoli. And then they brought a very large salad with feta cheese and dressing, and it was really yummy. So Josiah ate out of that what he was allowed to eat, and the rest of us enjoyed all of it. He did get some potatoes, so we just had to count them. And then, what was I going to say?
I have no idea.
Oh, so we had a bunch of leftover mashed potatoes from lunchtime. So for supper, we had deconstructed shepherd's pie, where we had potatoes and corn, green bean mix, and then burger, and people piled it how they wanted in their bowls.
Where did the chocolate cake fit in?
Oh yeah. So yesterday I really wanted some chocolate cake.
Oh, yes. That was
So we made some chocolate cake. I wanted to do something with the little people. Do you need to go take care of him? Because I can hold the camera. He's gonna go not deal with Josiah. Josiah's being fine. Josiah's
take
just having
it.
a hard time because of some seizures. He probably needs a breathing apparatus. We had made chocolate cake yesterday because with some other things going on, I wanted to spend some time with my little ones, and they love cooking with me in the kitchen, so we made a chocolate cake for fun. We ate some yesterday, and we had enough today that we were able to share with our guests. So we had that for dessert. Josiah had something else. He has a cupcake recipe that we then froze, and he has some treats for the freezer. And so we came in and had our supper, and in the meantime, I've been cooking lots of different things to get ready for the trip. So we bagged up taco stuff, which was beans and meat and peppers and onions with all the spices and everything. Those got bagged and put in the freezer. We got 2 bags of broth and chicken put in the freezer, and the rest of the vegetables for those soups are cooking right now. We have a bag of frozen spaghetti-ish sauce, but we will eat it on top of cauliflower. So the cauliflower that's cooking is for that also. And I also bagged up beans and meat for chili. And that is, I have to wait till tomorrow. We have a Walmart pickup, and one of the things I have to pick up is some chili powder that is approved for his diet, has the right things in it. So we will be getting that tomorrow. So those bags are just in my fridge. I didn't want to freeze them, but we will be gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I'm freezing the things so that we can take out just the one we need, and it will help everything else stay cold. Because we will have some freezer space, but it might not be enough for all the meals. So I wanted to make sure everything started cold. So that's finishing cooking. Virginia and I washed a ton of dishes. I told you that Naomi washed dishes very first thing this morning to wash all the dishes from yesterday. Did you wash before or after breakfast, Naomi? After. So, no. Yes, after breakfast, because then we used the plates at lunch. Sorry, I was thinking we didn't have plates, but that was for supper. So we washed after. Got my glasses.
I don't actually wear glasses, but I always put hers down somewhere.
We washed. She washed the dishes after breakfast. Virginia and I washed all the lunch and supper dishes this evening, plus all the stuff that we made all those meals to go in the freezer. So there were a lot of dishes.
But the good thing is, while we're in the camper for 3.5, 4 days,
we won't
be
actually do much
washing any
cooking.
dishes or
We're going to be warming stuff. I bought some disposable, and you can have your own fits about what disposable pans do and all of that stuff. But all of my dishes at home are stainless steel and all of those things. So to use disposable for a few days when we go on these camping trips is what my family's going to do. So that's what it is.
If you don't like it, feel free to not do it with us. You're free to do whatever you want
So
to do.
also, we have access to water. Like our kids, we actually have like a toilet and everything in the camper. So
Oh, yeah.
some people like freak out about people being in a camper without water hookup, except that if that same family went camping in a tent, they wouldn't be bothered that the family didn't have running water to use for the toilet and
We're
stuff.
not
So
gonna die.
So we have
Just fine.
two 12-volt batteries, upwards of 250 amp hours. We have a propane furnace. We have a propane oven, 3-burner stove, refrigerator, freezer, and actually a 35-gallon freshwater tank and a pump
Yes.
and all that.
So
we actually,
we're just not going to be hooked up to water because we don't want to make our friends figure out how to get the water to us. So if the friends that we're going to see are watching
Hi,
this, we
friends.
do not need water at all, because then we're not going to have it at Mark's mom's house either, because that's just the easiest way to do it. I don't mind putting water in a bucket, so whatever. So we
we're
have access.
fine.
Anyway, so we were making all the food because while we're there, we won't be making anything. So, right?
Yeah.
And you just didn't want to be in it anymore.
You're holding on.
So then,
Letting you do it.
yeah, that's almost done. And so I will go bag that stuff up and we will go to bed. I need to go put the baby to bed. That's what we're going to do. We will make videos, daily videos while we are gone, but whether they will upload or not, I'm not sure. We do have some data that we can use to put the videos up, but we're also going to be far north in Maine and I don't know how the connection is. So we will see. If you
We're
don't,
gonna be far down east there, Bob. I don't know where he's gonna be on the map. I
if you
don't know where you can find us at all.
If you don't see videos from us for a couple days, don't think that we've just dropped off the face of the earth. We're just visiting the edge of the earth, and we will come back and show you our videos if we can't get them uploaded.
There's no
So-
actual edge to the earth, so we're all clear on that.
We'll be back.
There's a reason they don't put me on these videos. It's because I don't know what to say. If you want to hear something intelligent, read what I write, not what comes out of my mouth.
Unless the moose get us, then we won't be back.
There's a reason she's on the video.
So there's no edge of the earth. What I was meaning is we're going to be out in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know how the internet connection is. But we will make videos, and we will upload them, even if it's once we get back. We will make some videos of the very pretty things we're going to see, but we're going to go enjoy time as a family away. You can keep praying for our family. If you've watched this far, you can keep praying for our family. Josiah had a really good day, and the chiropractor helped, and we just aren't dealing with the problems that we've been dealing with. Not that they're totally gone, but today was a good day. So we're still
Yeah.
working on that. But
Let's
that's
watch this far. That means Tyler had Epaphroditus.
Oh yes.
Tyler and
we're
Pappy,
approaching a
you're there.
half an hour.
So
of
anyway.
jibber-jabbering here.
I'm gonna get going because I need to go to bed. I woke up with I told you yesterday I had a headache. I have like just a dull little lingering thing there. And I've got some people that I need to go right back to because I was having some good conversations with people online. So we're gonna go, like people I know that we were talking to. So we're gonna go talk to them. I'm gonna go visit with my hubby. And we're gonna go get some sleep. So we will see you guys next time on Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. Bye.